Hello, captains, and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. We are continuing our adventure in the Northeast Megalopolis bush trip. I don't know why that phrase just will not stick in my head no matter how many times I try to say it. But anyways, we're working our way through this bush trip in the DA62 here. So we're taking off on leg number 3, which is going from Nantucket Memorial to, I believe it said it was Newport State. Yeah, Newport State, which looks like it's just some kind of small airport there. But anyways, enough talking for the intro for this. Let's go ahead and get ourselves up into the air so we can get along on the... Whoa. Forgot to turn the parking brake off. I always forget that starts turned on. Yeah, okay. Well, let's get up into the air, and then, oh, you know what? I meant to fix my autopilot, but that's okay. We'll get ourselves turned off in the correct direction, and then we'll fix the waypoints and all that stuff so that we can actually get going on this journey. Ideally, we won't be spinning around forever. Ooh, that was a relatively rough takeoff. Okay, get our flats and gear and all that stuff up. As we're climbing, hold on. As we're climbing, let me get down into this. We'll go into our flight plan. We'll click onto that, and then what is our next waypoint here? It's going to be POI 21. So, well, if I could get POI 21. Oh, dude, come on, 21. So we'll do. I think it was direct to that, right? There we go. And then autopilot nav mode. And it should take us straight to our waypoint here, right? So let's get rid of the flight plan. So is this seriously going to take us all the way back? Like, I'm confused. Oh, okay, hold on. So all of this is where we came from over here, this long island thing over here, and now we're heading off in this direction. Okay. So now that we got all that set up, I don't know. I want to bring the video in at that part where the camera's kind of circling around the plane. I think it's kind of cool, but I may need to avoid that so I can get all that set up before we take off, because you guys don't want to watch that boring crap. Anyways, we're heading westward from Nantucket to Jackson Point. So that's what we're doing for this particular leg of the journey. Let's zoom in a little bit so we can actually see some detail on the ground in the map here. So basically, once we get over... Okay. The parking brake should be disengaged. I was able to move. Did I press it again? Not sure what the deal with that was. So we're heading over here to, I got just confused, Jackson Point. So ideally, oh, you know what? I actually would help to set an altitude here, huh? So let's do, where is my altitude setting here? Boom, 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 boom. I want to set it to, say, 35. Then we'll set the vertical speed up to a plus 1,000 to get up to that. Well, realistically, though, I want to be down at 1,500. Let's do 1,500. And then we'll set our vertical speed down to, let's say, 500 to get down to that. Turn the pitot heat on so that warning goes away. We'll pull the power back so that as we're descending back down to where we were supposed to be in the first place, we're not overspeeding the aircraft. All right, anyways, so we'll head over to this point over here. The format for this is that I basically, as we pass over the previous waypoint that we read, I'll read off the next one so that we'll be able to see the waypoint and know what it is as we're approaching it. Now, the unfortunate part about these flights is that for the most part, they place the waypoints on the actual point of interest rather than off to the side. So those of us using autopilot, I guess, are kind of punished a little bit because we're basically going to fly over it and not really be able to look at it. But to be perfectly honest with you, this particular aircraft is not a great sightseeing aircraft because it's a low-wing design and has a big engine cowling in the way, and you're not really going to be able to see anything on the ground anyway. So we'll just have to accept that we're going to get the views that we get. But right now, we are flying over Jackson Point. Next thing, I'll read the next one as we turn so it's not too early. Because the next thing's going to be on this other island over here to the right, which is going to be over here. So I'll go ahead and read it now because we're going to turn, and as we turn, we'll be able to see it a little bit better. It's going to be I don't know how to say that, cross NANTUCKET Harbor to reach Tuckernuck Island. Could they come up with any more ridiculous names for these places? Tuckernuck Island. Wow. Okay. So I think I do want to bring the vertical speed down a little bit faster than what we're getting right now. Because I don't want to be too high, and I'd like to get a reasonable amount of detail, or as much detail as we can get on the ground as we fly over these points of interest, so that you guys are actually getting something out of it. Because I know that for me, the detail isn't exactly that great because I'm in 1080p, and that's not great detail. And then I know you guys are getting YouTube's awesome compression, so it's not going to be exactly detailed as we fly over these things. But I'll try to get as much of a view as I can. I generally don't like to go into third person or external camera view, but okay. Oh, that would explain that. Okay. Sorry, I need to fix this right now while I'm thinking about it. Somehow I have my my landing gear is... Oh, it's a toggle. Well, that would explain that. It's a toggle. Oh, that's what happened. Okay. I have a toggle for my parking brake and a toggle for my landing gear. I forgot that they were toggles and not up and down. In my DCS, I have an up and down for my gear. It's not a toggle. So that explains that. All right, but anyways, this is what the area looks like that we're flying over for the waypoint. Let me know if you're following this series at all. Let me know if you want me to give you these external views or if you would prefer a more realistic inside the cockpit view. And the only reason I'm even considering it is because the cockpit for this aircraft is just garbage. Okay, so that explains why that popped back up, because I thought I was raising my landing gear, but I was actually just engaging the parking brake again. And that's why my landing gear didn't pop up. I'm not a big fan of toggles for landing gears, but that's fine. I need access to as many controls as I can get. Next up, we have continue to Martha's Vineyard, an island renowned for its beach communities and its resorts, getaways for people who work in the bustle of the city centers of the northeast Megalopolis. So that's going to be 5 minutes away. That's going to take a little bit of time to get to. I'm going to go ahead and cut as we go over this boring section of water. Alright, I think we're over Martha's Vineyard at this point. It did say that it was an island, so let's hop into the external view here and get a nice little look about. Let's see what it looks like. So I guess this is the place that everybody comes to where all the rich people have their vacation homes, right? I don't know. I don't see the appeal. I mean, I don't want to live anywhere where it's cold, so, you know. Oh, my microphone decided it was just going to go off on its own direction. I have no desire to live where it's cold, so I'm sure they only come here when it's warm. But, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not interested in lots and lots of money. I don't care about that stuff, so whatever. So we're just trying to get to this next point of interest, which is... So I'm a little curious. Is all of this the island here? Oh, I guess it is. Never mind. So let's get back out into that external view then, because this island is actually much bigger than I thought. This whole thing is the island. I didn't realize it was this big. This is just like a little... This is probably like the ultra-private island where everybody, like all the super rich people come to get away from the plebs who are only like kind of rich. Anyways, yeah. So we're flying over Martha's Vineyard right now. A little bit more involved than I initially thought. But I mean, you know, I don't care about Martha's Vineyard, so why would I know? Anyways. So here it is. Let's get back into the cockpit so we can keep track of when the next waypoint is going to be showing up. Looks like we're going to be heading off to our left in that direction. Let's take a quick look at the waypoints, the upcoming waypoints. How many different waypoints do we have for this one? Well, it's just a couple more. So we have waypoint 24 and then waypoint 25. And then I guess this is our airport up here that we're heading towards. So there's always that. Zoom in just a little bit so the map's not quite so cluttered. We have moved on to the next waypoint. So cross Vineyard Sound to visit Pasquay Island, which has a population of 2, according to a recent census, illustrating that not all parts of this stretch of the United States are densely populated. So I'm a little confused by that. Oh, it's okay. So it's this little island here has a population of 2. Must be nice to be rich enough to be able to be living on an island where the population is just the 2 of you. So it looks like it's a little bit far away. I'm going to go ahead and cut until we get over to there to, you know, I don't know. We're only 10 minutes into the video. Man, if I so much as tap this microphone stand, it is just going off all over the place. Sorry if there's any booming that's happening when I do that. I have it mounted in a way that I'm having to overextend it a little bit to get it over to where I am right now, but it also allows my desk layout to be the way I want it, so I have to be super careful not to touch it. I don't know, I guess we can just kind of sit here and chat for a minute since, you know, I'd like my video to be at least 20 minutes long, and the estimation here is saying that the total flight is supposed to be about 20 minutes. So, yeah. There's always that. I don't know, but this is saying what, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I mean, I guess we could probably cut until we get to the next one. We're already almost there, though. Maybe I'll cut from this island here, and then we move on to the next area there. I don't know. I mean, the whole point of these videos is obviously to do the bush trips, but also, you know, I'm sure there's many other channels who have done the bush trips, and if you're coming here to watch me, you're coming here to watch me fly, not necessarily just to get a quick narration and viewpoints and things like that. So, I don't know, what do we want to talk about? What aviation-related thing do we want to... Oh, you know what? How about we talk about that that recent thing that happened with the Boeing aircraft, kind of started falling apart in the sky. Am I the only person who's like, what the hell is going on with the aviation industry now? I mean, seriously. Take any of the politics and any of the greediness and any of the other things out of it. It's like, we have airplanes that are just falling apart in the sky. Air travel has always been the absolute safest way to get from point A to point B. Now all of a sudden it's like, no. No. Not really, not anymore. I don't know what's going on with that, but not the best situation to be in at this point. I'm at the point now where I'm like, I don't think I'm going to take commercial flights anymore, because it's one thing when, you know, every once in a while something's happening, but we've had a lot of recent incidences recently with just, you know, air traffic controllers not being able to do their job, showing up to work drunk, pilots who just don't know how to fly anymore, aircraft that are built like crap and fall apart as soon as you fly. I mean, that Boeing was, I think they said it was only like a couple of weeks old. It's a brand new aircraft, and it's sitting there falling apart, and you're watching these people on a plane with their phones taking a video of a big hole in the side of the aircraft. It's a wonder to me that it didn't just fall apart in the sky with that much structural damage. So I don't know. I'm leery about, like, I love to fly. I love to fly small planes like this, and I wanted to be an airline pilot, but frankly, you know, no dream is worth dying for. You know what I mean? Like, as much as I'd love to be up there flying airplanes right now, not if it means I'm going to have to, you know, fall out of the sky because they don't care enough to build the planes right anymore. You can take politics out of that situation and just, I think we can all agree that an airplane should get from point A to point B in one piece. You know what I mean? Like, where's the quality control here, guys? I know you guys are trying to make that money, and I'm all about making money and all that, but at some point you got to take some responsibility for the lives of the people you're putting in danger. But then again, you know, that's the same thing about the whole big pharma thing, where, you know, there's drugs out there that could cure you of certain diseases, but they just don't want to they don't want to let you know that they exist, because then they can't profit off your disease anymore. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know that I want to get too much into political topics, because then I'm going to turn people off once you find out what my political affiliation is. I don't have one, but I have certain viewpoints. Let's see, fly over Buzzards Bay and return to mainland Massachusetts at Westport Point, which was the westernmost point of Massachusetts Bay Colony. And then after that will be the airport. So I think we're pretty much done with the nav log at this point. I guess we can do a quick external camera of that island we just passed. I mean, I guess we're already kind of over it, but that was it over there. I wasn't thinking about, I was too busy flapping my gums to pay attention to that, but I don't generally like to use this that camera view anyways. It's just unrealistic, you know? So we're flying over the bay here, and then we have an airport to go land at, and that will be it for this video. So hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Hopefully I'm keeping it entertaining enough that you guys want to stick around and watch the videos from beginning to end. It's really disappointing to, you know, make a video and then it shows up on there and you look at your average watch time and it's like 30 seconds. Especially when they're 20 to 30 minute videos and it's like, nah, your average watch time is about 30 seconds. That means that virtually everybody is clicking on, watching the intro and being like, nope, you suck, bye. I feel like the more I do these videos, though, and I polish my introductions, I feel like people tend to stick around a little bit more, especially if I get into a decent kind of conversation as I'm, you know, whether it's the trucking videos or the flight sim video here or the Elite Dangerous videos, where the ones where I'm just, you know, really heavily into doing a lot of talking because there just really isn't much else to do. You know, I'm hoping that the watch time will stay relatively high because, you know, that's where the money is. That's what YouTube really cares about when it comes to, you know, the algorithm. Did people stick around and actually watch your video and give us enough time to shove ads in their face? Which, you know, it sucks that that's the way that it has to be, but money makes the world go around, and we haven't figured out a better way to make it work. So yeah, you gotta try to get that money as best you can. I would love it if I had like millions of subscribers and I was making millions of dollars and like lots of ad revenue and people were buying merch and all that other stuff. But I'll be honest with you, I don't care about any of that. I don't even really want any of that because that's way more attention than I really want. I want just enough attention to where I'm able to make just enough money to live the comfortable kind of life that I want to live. If I can get to that point, I think I'll be pretty content. Especially if it puts me in a position where I can go sailing around the world like I want to. Like if I can get this channel built up enough to where it's making a decent amount of money, and then I can start a sailing channel and get that pumped up to where it's making a decent amount of money, I think I'll be in pretty good shape. Especially because, you know, I'll buy an old like trimaran or something, fix it up, document that journey, hopefully get enough people along for the journey by the time I finish fixing up the boat that, you know, they're helping pay for the actual journey itself. And especially if I can get, you know, a decent internet connection on the boat and get a desk area set up where I can do my gaming stuff. I can keep the gaming channel going, I can do my sailing videos, and, you know, the wife and I can go travel around the world together, and that would be super awesome. That would be like a dream come true. Ugh, that would be super great. But, you know, that's a future me, hopefully, kind of thing, and it's getting harder and harder to say things like that because I just turned 41, and there's only so many, you know, future versions of me left. Go too much longer, and future me is going to be too old to do any of this stuff. So I'm really hoping I can figure out how to get this stuff done in the relatively near future and not be in my late 50s, early 60s before I'm even able to get started on this stuff. Anyways, we're within 10 miles of the airport now, so I'm going to go ahead and start pulling back on the power just a little bit so we can start slowing down as we approach the airport. Let me get over here and drill down a little bit more on this. So we need to come over from the right, it looks like, and come in for a landing there. So I'm going to turn the autopilot off, and we'll start heading off over this way. Try to maintain my altitude, though. Okay, that should be enough to get us off to the right. Because I don't really want to do any kind of pattern work for this. There's no real reason to do that. But I would like for the pitch trim to please come up, like I'm asking you to do, so that we don't sink too far. There we go. Okay. So I want to keep us above the flaps range until we get pretty close, but I don't want to have to slow down real hard once we get there. So I'm gonna keep adjusting that pitch trim, keep adjusting the throttle. Okay, climbing a little bit. It's not what I want. I want to keep it right around this altitude. So it looks like the airport's going to be across the water and then off to our left once we get over there. Let's drill down a little bit more. Okay, so it looks like we actually do need to come fairly far out to the right here, because it's we're perpendicular to the runway at this point. Okay, I think we might have a good pitch trim and throttle combination right now to hold this altitude. We just need to get over across the water, head off to the left, and get onto that airport. I don't think we can see it from here. Yeah, it's still a little too far away for my 1080p rendering to be able to see it, or it may even just be hidden by terrain. I'm not sure. Let's check our map one more time. Yeah, I'd like to give myself plenty of room to get lined up, so I'm swinging out just a little bit wide because I don't want to have to do what I've been doing and I end up having a really hard landing because I'm having to rush myself at the last second. Because it is to the little line is going from left to right now, so once we cross the water, I'll kind of turn in towards a 45-degree angle. I realize that's not necessarily the most realistic thing in the world, but these are bush trips, and there's no communication with the tower anyways, so I'm just going to fly in the way I want to fly in, and I'll just deal with it. Okay, can I see the airport yet? No, I don't see anything, which is a little bit concerning. Because it's within like 5-ish miles of us at this point. Should really be able to see it by now. But I think the stanchion here might be in the way. Well, let's turn off to the left because it's supposed to be to the left of these little lakes over here. We will go ahead and start slowing down, though, so we can get into that flaps range. What's this airport? It's supposed to be... Oh, hold on, let me... Yeah, we haven't overshot it yet. So we'll skirt this. We'll skirt these little lakes over here, and then we'll come off to the left. Go ahead and get our flaps out. Okay, I think I see it now. It was very hard to tell that it was an airport at the angle that I was at with all the trees and stuff in the way. But I think that's it right there off the stanchion. Let's get our speed down. Get our gear down. Down all the way. Start controlling our airspeed. Try to get lined up with this as best I can, even though the cockpit is really hiding. I don't like this cockpit at all. This is like the worst cockpit ever. Pitch trim, pitch trim, pitch trim, pitch trim. At least they cut the trees out to make landing here easier. I might want to get my feet on the rudder pedals. I got all comfortable in regular flying mode. Power, power. Crap, too hard, too hard. Ugh. Yeah, that was bad. I don't know, I don't understand this plane. The throttle response is very sensitive, and then I don't know. Excuses. I don't have enough experience flying this plane. Anyways, hopefully you guys had lots of fun. Be sure to click that like button so the YouTube algorithm knows that you did and sends the video out to more viewers. The more the merrier. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already so that when the next video comes out, it will show up in your video feed and you will be able to watch it as soon as possible. And for those of you who want to get as quick as access as possible, be sure to click that join button. Channel members do get early access to my videos as soon as they're uploaded. So click that join button, check out the list of perks that you'll get for becoming a member, and decide if that's right for you. So again, I hope you guys had lots of fun. Be sure to come back for the next one, and I'll see you then.